All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're talking about hot work safety. And look, these aren't just suggestions or best practices. These are the absolute non-negotiables for anyone doing welding or torch cutting. This is serious stuff, so let's dive in. So let me ask you a question right off the bat. With all the gear, all the permits, all the checks, what's the one safety step that gets forgotten or ignored the most? Just think about it for a second. There it is. The most overlooked step is the one you decide to skip, just this once. And that's where the danger really is. It's not usually some massive failure. It's that one small thing you thought wasn't a big deal. Complacency. That's the real enemy on any job site. So, why are we being so intense about this? Let's be crystal clear about what's actually at stake here. This is way more than just checking boxes on a safety form. We're talking about preventing absolute catastrophes. Every single rule we're going to talk about today is a barrier. It's a barrier to prevent devastating fires, to prevent explosions from vapors you can't even see, and to prevent serious, life-altering injuries from fumes and arc rays. This is why every little detail matters. Okay, so everything, and I mean everything, starts before you ever strike that first spark. This prep phase, this is your first and best line of defense. You have to get this right. It is not optional. Let's break down who does what, because this is huge. Your foreman, their job is to make sure you're trained and that you've got the right equipment. But your role, you are the final check. You have to inspect everything yourself. You own that zone. If a piece of gear looks sketchy, if the site isn't right, you have a responsibility to speak up before you start work. So here's your mental checklist, the 3 things you have to do every single time. 1. Is there a valid hot work permit for this job? If not, you don't work. Simple as that. 2. Have you personally inspected your area, your gear, your PPE? And 3. Have you actually stopped, looked around, and identified every single thing that could possibly go wrong? That's on you. Now let's talk about your personal armor, because that's exactly what this is. And every piece is mandatory. We're talking a welder's cap, your primary eye protection under the helmet, the welder's helmet itself, and make sure it has the correct shade, not just any old one. A face shield, proper gloves, and an apron. No excuses, no exceptions. All right, so you're all prepped, you're geared up, everything's been checked. Now, let's talk about the rules that kick in the second that work actually starts. This one feels obvious, right? But you'd be surprised. It is the #1 rule for preventing fires. You have to actively clear your work area of anything that can burn. It's not enough to just hope for the best. You do not weld or cut anywhere near flammable stuff. And here is the magic number. You need to burn this into your brain. 35 feet. That is the absolute minimum distance. Every single flammable thing has to be moved at least 35 feet away. And if you physically can't move it, it has to be completely covered and protected by flame-proof blankets or shields. No debate. This one is all about protecting you, your health, your lungs. You have to take active steps. You must use forced ventilation, like a fan, or even better, a local exhaust system that literally sucks the fumes away from your face. The rule isn't try not to breathe fumes. The rule is don't breathe the fumes. Now, for the gear itself, before you even think about starting, you have to give those hoses a good look. Check them for any cracks, any kinks, any damage at all. And then, when you go to light that torch, never, and I mean never, point it towards yourself. Not your body, not your face, not the cylinders. And this is a hard and fast rule with 0 wiggle room. You never, ever weld on drums, tanks, or any kind of closed container. Why? Because leftover vapors or residue can turn that container into a bomb. It's just not worth the risk. Unless a qualified person has inspected it, tested it, and giving you the official all clear, you just don't do it. Period. Here's another number for you. 9 feet. You cannot start any hot work unless there's a fire extinguisher ready to go within 9 feet of where you are. Not 10 feet. Not down the hall. 9 feet. Close enough that you can grab it in a split second without even thinking. So, the torch is off, the weld is done, you're finished, right? Nope, the job is not over. In fact, a supercritical phase of safety is just getting started. We call it the cool down. And you have to do this in this exact order, every single time. Step 1. Go to the cylinders and close the valves nice and tight. Step 2. Open up the torch valves to bleed out all the gas that's left in the lines. Wait for the pressure to drop to 0, then close the torch valves.
And step 3, the fire watch starts immediately.
Let me be as clear as I can possibly be about this. A fire watch is not something you do if you feel like it, or if the area seems risky. It is a mandatory part of every single hot work job. It's how you catch that little smoldering spark that you can't see, the one that could burst into flames an hour after you've already gone home.
So how long are we talking for this fire watch? Well, the absolute minimum, no matter what, is 1 hour. 1 full hour after all the hot work is done. This gives any hidden embers or hot spots time to show themselves so you can deal with them safely.
Okay, let's wrap this all up. If there is one single idea I want you to walk away with, it's this. You have to own your zone. It's all about personal ownership of safety.
I love this piece of advice because it works on 2 levels. Literally, yes, keep your head out of that plume of smoke and fumes. But it also means keep your head in the game. Stay alert, pay attention, don't get complacent. Keep your head out of the fumes of distraction and routine. And that's really the bottom line, isn't it? Every one of these rules is there to protect you. But safety, it's a team sport. When you follow these rules, when you take them seriously, you're not just looking out for number 1. You are looking out for every single person on that site. That's the real measure of a pro.